morning, guys. It's a bit blustery, so sorry about the wind. I'll try and make this nice and quick. We, Coco and I, are hopefully going to try and get up to a Iron Age fort, which is around 50 BC, or from around 50 BC age. We've got to get up along this bridle path, then into the woods, which is a little dicey in there, and it did rain last night, so we'll have to play it by ear to whether we can actually get through and see if we can get up to this, Iron Age fort, which is very exciting, very old monument. So yeah, I thought I'd bring you guys along. It's a lovely autumn morning, a little blustery, but it's not bad at all, and the sun is out, which is always lovely, and all the trees are changing, and yeah, this is my current view, even though it's very windy. I don't know, it seems so bad, but I've obviously just turned literally into a wind tunnel, it would seem, but that is not a bad view, is it? Don't. It's hay bales. So welcome to these woods. They're quite narrow and a little on the rutty side, and they do get quite wet. So probably the last chance I'll get to come in here. But you know, feel like you're on a proper adventure, that's for sure. Good for Coco's footwork. He has to think about where he's putting his feet. And it makes a nice change. So, like I say, probably won't get out into these woods again this year, but pretty nice. Concentrate, Coco. You can see the ground is quite all over the place in here. I don't know how many people ride through them. It is a bridle path. Before anyone thinks I've just come along and gone through some woods, it is a bridle path, but I don't think a huge amount of horses come through here. Lots of people walking their dogs do, though. Concentrate, Coco. Which route are you taking? Oh, okay. Well, the only other problem with these woods is that to get up into the field that we're going to get up into has the most horrible gate in the world. It's like in a dip, and you also don't know if there's any cows up there, and I don't really like riding through a field with cows personally. So because the field's so huge, the cows could literally be anywhere. So if we get up here and I find there's cows in the field, then I'm definitely turning around, and I'm definitely going to have to get off again. It's just a little uncomfortable on the ribs, I won't lie. Getting on and off is not bad, but getting back on from the ground, especially when Coco's not that little, can be a little bit hard. Anyway, we are nearing the little gateway, which is a pain in the backside to get through. You see, it's quite twisty. I try very hard not to scratch my Sam Shield hat, which I have done numerous times riding in the woods. As you can see, this is the bridle path gateway. It's in the most... Watch my leg, Coco. It's in the most annoying position, and it's also rude. A spring-back one, so it just pings back at you immediately. I do often try and see if I can spot any signs of cow poo in the field to know whether there's any cows out there. I can't see anything, so I think me and Coco are going to make a attempt at it, but I'm going to jump off first and open that gate. It's also tiny as well. I mean, have you seen the size of this boy? It's a bit like another world up here. I mean, it is very beautiful to feel like I'm on the hunt for a cow. I think Coco is as well, for a cow to make an appearance at any second. The grass looks a good length out here, though. I'm hoping that's a good sign, that means there's no cows. Put your feet up, Coco. Falling over a twig. Concentrate. You can already guess this would have been a good place for an iron fort, because we are starting to head upwards, as you can see, so we've already started to climb. So they would have had an amazing view from up here. Good boy. So you need to pick your feet up a bit better. You guys can't tell, but he trips over a little bit. Good lad. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting, as long as there's no cows. Oh, Coco. It's looking promising. Like I say, there are many places they can hide in this field up here, so I'm not breathing a sigh of relief just yet. It's just so nice up here. So this is it. This is the Iron Fort, or Iron Aged Fort. Literally this big kind of, I don't even know what you call it, kind of ditch surrounding this field. They would have been in the field and the ditch would have been a way to keep them safe and protected. They haven't actually found a huge amount of artifacts here either. The site has been looked at a lot, but not huge amounts, bits and pieces, but nothing major. It's quite big actually. It goes all the way around here if I keep riding. Come on, Coco. Coco's like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Walk down there. I'm going to have to do a voiceover. It was just so windy up there. I forgot to add that it's obviously a hill fort. You could have told from the video that we've obviously had to climb quite a bit up, and it's very windy because we're at the top of a hill. So as you can see, this is the large ditch surrounding the fort. One of the things that blows my mind is this was all dug by hand. This is a pretty big ditch. The whole site is about 8 acres and it goes the whole way around. So to give you some info off of Wikipedia, the inner bank is up to 5 meters high and is surrounded by a 3-meter deep ditch, and the outer bank is 2 meters high, and there's also traces of an outer ditch, which is quite interesting. It would have obviously had incredible views. They said that it was most likely that they would have cleared a lot of the woodland area around the fort so they could have seen miles and miles and miles, so obviously they could see anyone that was about to come and attack them or do anything nasty. Obviously they would have all been at the top of, in the middle, and the Iron Age people lived in roundhouses with a thatched roof and a fire in the middle. This is about as far as my history goes on Iron Age. The fact that this area has a lot of forest around it means it would have been a great place to sort of forage, get wood for the fires, probably do some hunting. So it would have been somewhere people could have stayed for a while. I'm afraid I'm going to continue with the history facts. Historians have suggested that the fort may not have been used continually, but as an enclosure in times of unrest. Unrest was common in these times. The fort lies on a boundary of 2 old British kingdoms, and there were 2 major Celtic invasions in the years around when the fort was constructed, which is kind of cool. And there's also signs of an earlier habitation of the site with Neolithic flint tools that have been found within the fort, which is something I didn't know about until I literally read it today, so that's kind of cool as well. As you can see, it's an absolutely stunning area. The whole place is so beautiful, and we're looking at it obviously in autumn, which just makes it look even more special. Another interesting fact that I didn't know about is I spotted all this rubble along that you can see in the video now, and under this tree there was just tons of this rubble. Now it turns out it's limestone. Now limestone rock is not common in our area, so it suggests the material was transported into the camp from further afield, and so the banks are made up of this limestone rubble, which is something, as I say, I didn't know about until I read up on it today. Good boy, Coco, steady. So this would have been an amazing place to have been, ready for any action that was needed. Now to head back home. As I say, look, all those fields down there, that would make for a nice ride. Sadly not on the bridle path. So yeah, me and Coco are going to head back. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed seeing this Iron Age fort. It's very nice to have it almost on our doorstep. It's quite cool. Serious piece of history going on there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our rides. I like videoing these. I'm not sure everyone else necessarily enjoys my videos of riding through the woods. Sorry, I'm really having to duck and dive around here because it is very tree. Obviously being in the woods, but there are also a lot of low branches, and Coco is on a mission to get home. But I always think in the future I will really enjoy looking back and watching these videos, because for example, if I'm no longer working for the family I'm currently working for, then I'll really love watching these videos back of, the horses I was riding and the rides I went on. So more ducking. I just think I really like watching them back. So and hey, who doesn't like a bit of history as well? Right, Coco, there's a log there, so concentrate. Not sometimes he forgets he owns 4 feet. Anyway, we are making our way back down the hill in the woods. which is a little bit slippery actually, so I have to concentrate. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed.